Check, mic check, 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Platform Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dex, and we do this every single Wednesday. We got a brand new episode coming for you. If you like to listen to the DJ mixes too, make sure you go hit up at the Platform Mix on all socials. You can check those DJ mixes out every Monday. Some of the best DJs from all over the nation, all over the world, put out hour-long DJ mixes. Today on the show, we're sitting down with two DJs that very good friends with. One I've known for many, many years. The other I've became friends with since moving to Nashville. They've both been on the show already, making a return, doing a show together. We got DJ Dirty Darren, DJ Jevity.
What's
up? What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Happy to be back.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let people know if they haven't seen the first episodes that you guys been on. Darren, you were on the very first episode.
I was, man.
Jevity, you were on the very second episode.
Yes, I was.
So
number one, number two.
Yeah, some things have changed since then. We've gotten a lot better cameras.
I see that.
We've gotten into a different place than where you guys first recorded.
Yeah.
Now we're right downtown Nashville. So,
Dude, you got lighting and everything now, man.
That's
pretty awesome.
I'm
Moving
trying
on
to be
up. Let's go.
professional here.
We got the notes on the TV so we can get the chat going.
I'm trying to get fucking endorsement deals, ambassador deals. I'm trying to get picked up by Barstool. You know,
Google,
whatever I'm gonna do.
Let's get like Red Bull to sponsor. We'll just like start throwing people through the table.
You know, I'm working on getting a few sponsors. So if you guys know any,
I mean, you got Luna, dude. We should already get sponsored by Dog Treats.
I know.
Yeah.
So I watch New Heights podcast a lot, which is the Kelsey Brothers show, and one of their main sponsors is Farmer's Dog, because Jason Kelsey has two big ass Irish wolfhounds, and they always like walk behind them, and they're huge. They're like literally this high off the ground. And that's
crazy.
like one of his sponsors, which is very fitting because obviously his dogs are always walking through there. Where for me, like I've had a dog in literally every single episode we've done because Luna's always in it. She's the star of the show. I always get people like texting me being like, "Oh my God, Luna's so cute." And then I was just back in Wisconsin, did an episode with Josh, one of my best friends, Maddie's brother. And then he had his dog. And then when I did an episode with Travis in Madison, he has a Rottweiler, Coco, and then she laid with us the entire episode. So awesome. Every episode so far, we're a big dog friendly podcast.
I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, but yeah, for people that didn't watch those first couple episodes, go back and watch them. They're all on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Go check them out.
But for people that didn't, let us know a little bit about yourself. Darren, you want to start?
Yeah. So my name is Darren. I go by Dirty Darren. I DJ. I've been DJing since I was 13 years old. Started out doing weddings and then slowly moved into bars and nightclubs. Worked my way up to DJing for the Chicago Bulls, and then the pandemic hit, and I decided to move to Nashville.
What was like the main reason for the move? Was it just because Chicago was so shut down that there was just like no work to be had, or?
Yeah, I mean it got pretty barren up there, man. I mean there was a few bars that had retractable roofs or like huge patios you were allowed to play on, but like even the budget went down a lot. And my best friend moved to Nashville about a year prior to the pandemic.
Miguel, shout out Miguel.
Yeah, and I came to visit him before he had his second child and got out of my car because I drove down here, and a party bus of girls went by, and I was like, what is going on? This is insane. Like
just like a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, I was like, did COVID happen here? And then literally by the time I got from my door of my car to the back to get my bag, a second party bus went by, and I was like, all right, this is weird. And I was like 2 blocks from Broadway. I walked down there, left my bags in the car, and Broadway was like slammed. Like the pandemic didn't happen.
Yeah. A little bit different when you get further south.
Yeah, so. Very. So yeah. I was like, okay, so people are working here. DJs or anybody in the hospitality entertainment industry can clearly make money here. And then, yeah, man, I've definitely been one of those people that have always been like on vacation, like 2 minutes in, I'm moving here. And this was actually the first time I ever did it. So
nice.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. It was definitely lonely at first, but yeah, man, one of the best decisions of my life.
Yeah, you're definitely adjusting well. I mean, you've helped me out with a bunch of stuff since I've been here, so I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man.
But I mean, yeah, you
Help me out too.
you're a very, very, very talented DJ.
Man, I got the boys.
Yeah. We appreciate it. We appreciate
of
it.
course.
You know?
It's all love.
Yeah. But Jevity, what about you, man? You've been down here, what, 3 years now?
Yeah, 3 years. I was living in Dubuque, Iowa when I was DJing, and pandemic came, and I decided to move to Tennessee and worked in the steel mill in Chattanooga for a couple years before I moved to Nashville, and then did security, and then went on tour after that.
Yeah, and it happened pretty quickly for you, so which is wild. Jevity is a tour DJ for Kane Brown, who also happens to be his brother.
Yes.
He found out randomly out of the blue.
Got a message one day on Facebook. Hey, we've been looking for you. You're our long lost brother. I was like, crazy.
Yeah. So now you've been on 2 tours.
Yep.
Make it sound like you're fucking going to war. Yeah, you've been on 2 tours. Came back both times. Yeah.
Yeah. Got all my limbs.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, second tour you just ended over summer. So you've been back for a while now.
Yeah, I've been back hanging out with the kiddos. Being stay-at-home dad, but also in the lab making stuff. So.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the tour life of obviously with you having kids, being away from family. What's a schedule look like for you on tour?
So Kane is country artist, so country touring is different than most tours are. So
yeah, I feel like they really only do summer.
It's like maybe 3 or 4 days depending. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if you want to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just depends. And then we get to come home a couple days, hang out with the family, refresh, take a shower, do all that cool stuff. And then, a couple days are over, and then you're back out, it's like going to camp is what I feel like. So we meet, go on the bus, and then we're off on the road for a couple days, and then we get to come back home.
I feel like doing it that way, which why do you think it is that country artists are the artists that do tours that way?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's a management thing. Maybe it's just because people like being home. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people who have done like rock and roll tours and stuff like that where they're out for months, and they know it's a journey doing it that way. You're away from home for a really long period of time, and if something comes up, they have to find someone to replace you or something like that. So I'm sure there's tons of reasons behind it. I don't know specifically.
It definitely makes more sense to do it like that. Because one, I feel like shows are going to sell better if you're doing them on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as opposed to like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Second, obviously, traveling is easier. You just go out for the weekend. It's basically just like being a touring DJ that travels for gigs, for club gigs. Like if you're going to Miami, LA, wherever, those DJs that are nationwide touring, it would be similar to that, where you're hopping on those flights, you're going here, and then you're back on Monday or Sunday, whenever it's going to be. So it definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, those flight gigs.
I wonder if it's something to do with like logistics too. Like it's got to be more expensive to come all the way home. Yeah, because like let's say you're going all the way to 3-4 hours away. You could continue and keep going up, states, or you could come all the way back home and you still have to go back up to those states.
Yeah.
So it's got to be way more expensive the way the country artists do it. Than
I mean, I still think when you guys do your shows, you route them properly, where it's like you'll do an Illinois, an Iowa.
Yeah, it's 3-4 cities in the weekend, and then we make sure we'll hit maybe north. We'll go north first, and then we'll come back, and then we'll go west first, and then south first, and then
so like you go as far as you can and then make your way back.
In a way, yeah, just depending on how they book it and logistics, like you said. Yeah. So we'll do, like everything East Coast like that weekend.
And just knock it out.
Yeah, bang, bang, bang. And then we're on our way back home. And then
that's pretty cool.
Next weekend, it'll be, a couple cities in the Midwest or a couple cities, we try and hit things in a line, obviously, so they line up. So yeah, that's all tour manager stuff. That's past my pay grade. So
I just show up and
I just hop on the bus and they take me places.
Yeah, it's awesome though, and you're liking it.
I love it. I like being on the road and the solitude of it. I do miss my family when I'm gone, but it's nice to get like a you get time to use when you're traveling on a bus. So it's like, you can make use of it. So usually I like, download music or work on edits or something like that. But I get like that time on the road to do that.
And it probably helps that you're with like-minded people.
Right.
You're with obviously other artists. So if you are doing stuff, like I know that you've been working more on production, you can probably get people there that are gonna be good at it too, or be able to help you in some way.
A lot of people on the road are songwriters, so I get that aspect of it. The production stuff I haven't yet. That's more like on me. But at least like songwriting perspective in the country music world, I do get that.
You've been getting better at it? Or is it something you're not even really like interested in doing?
It's interesting to learn.
Yeah.
So it's when you're producing music, to learn how people write songs is kind of a crucial thing. But it's like I have to figure out how it works with me. Yeah. So like the music that I want to produce, how do I write songs properly for the music that I want to make? Yeah,
it's crazy that there's like a formal education to songwriting. Like now with me going to Belmont, there's so many songwriting majors that I'm in class with. Like I have this kid, Connell, who's in one of my classes, who's a super talented guitarist. Like he sent me videos of him playing guitar and singing, and it's like they're literally songwriting majors. And I'm like, what? Like, how do you teach someone to write a song? But there's
people who
there's
do
an art to it. Yeah.
There's people, they get in groups and they all sit around, they brainstorm song ideas and they record them, and it's crazy.
And Nashville definitely is that's like I didn't even know that was really like a thing prior to moving here, that people have these writers sessions and they just go like I thought you just link up with friends and you're just like, all right, cool, like, hey, I wrote this verse, sing this for me. But they literally just brainstorm all this shit. It's wild.
That'd be cool to just sit in and watch them like work. Like,
I would love to do that.
That's how it's the brainstorming aspect. Like it's got to be like you don't go in, thinking. I wonder if they go in thinking like we're gonna write a sad song today, or does it just take them there?
Yeah. Or like if there's any direction whatsoever, if they're just going in, they're like, all right, boys, like, what are we fucking writing today?
Yeah.
Some people have lyrics, some people have some songs, I guess it just depends on where you want to start.
Because you see like guys like Ernest or like Ernest was on Bustin' with the Boys, and he talked about all the writing credits that he has for like Kane Brown, for Morgan Wallen, and then like his stuff himself too. I love that Darren is like allergic to dogs, and Luna fucking loves him. So
I'm gonna start sneezing soon.
It's like she knows that he's allergic to dogs and goes fucking right for him. She's like, hey, I know that you love me and you just can't pet me, but I'm gonna just make you pet me. So
I just gotta remember not to touch my face with my right hand right now.
That's so awesome. But yeah, he talked about like the money that he makes residually just off of his writing credits of songs. And obviously if the songs that he's on with like Morgan Wallen, it's like those are fucking billion stream songs.
Yeah.
And he's just getting paid. And like his song with Kane, like he's just getting paid. And then on top of that, he's an artist himself and then writes himself too. So it's crazy that if you are that talented of a writer in this industry, the money that you can make is fucking insane. So, and I know for you, like we've talked about, obviously you having a goal to get on tour with someone.
Yeah.
Where being in a city like Nashville, you never know when these artists are going to be out. Where there's people that have gotten gigs just from being out on a night. That artist came through and they're like, yo, you were dope.
Yeah.
Come on tour with us. Like you look at Barstool the other night when you were going to be DJing, ended up not DJing there, and then fucking Zach Bryan shows up.
Right.
Where I look at that, I'm like, fuck, like that's a night.
I always wonder too, like, is that the night it would happen? Like, can he just like tell somebody in his team, like, yo, this is the guy I want? Or is it like somebody else that comes along and they're like, we're going to take you with us. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to see like the direction from an artist. Like if that's something that he even notices.
Yeah.
or even cares about, or
if does it even like cross his mind?
That's what I'm saying. Like if he even notices it at all, or if he's just like, I'm out, I'm just fucking out partying.
Yeah.
And even if he did notice, if he would be like, fuck, like we need to get this guy out with us. Or if it just gets passed along down the line to somebody else, it'd be cool to.
Someone thinks you're dope. That's all it takes.
Yeah. I heard, like, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that like Live Nation will like set DJs with like artists. Like sometimes they don't even know.
Well, because didn't you say that for like 50 Cent that they booked?
Yeah, we did. Shout out to the homie Danny West, who just moved to Nashville. He hooked me up with that, and I played their official after party, which was still at the concert. Like you could, if you were attending the concert, you could like find these girls walking around. You could buy like a $100 ticket to go to the after party, which was in a room in the venue. And I got to DJ that. And yeah, it was all through like Live Nation. Like Live Nation, like I think how it worked was 50 Cent was getting like a set budget every show, and Live Nation was just a promoter. And they're like, hey, we're going to put you on tour, basically. We're guaranteeing you this amount. And
no, I remember reading it about 50 Cent. His like entire tour is Live Nation like funds it.
Right.
So they pay him like a flat rate. I don't think he gets like any ticket sales, anything like that.
Yeah.
And Live Nation does all the promo, and
I think they're doing like everything, the merch.
Yeah.
Like, correct. So I was hired through Danny West hooked it up, but it was Live Nation was doing the after party as well.
Gotcha.
So which they hired a company, which that little company, that group of like 6 people, that's all their job was to go to every venue and set up the after party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got asked back already for that second one.
Yeah.
That was in Alabama.
When we got there, there was a miscommunication, so I didn't end up playing.
You still get paid?
Yeah, still got paid and just hung out at the concert, so that was cool.
But that's the kind of opportunities that you're looking for, where it's like, hey, you do it that one time, or even you have somebody hear you outside of touring, and then they want to bring you on.
Yeah.
Where then you're on it that one time and you're set. Like I think of people like a Kid Cut Up, who he's
done that for how long?
Like 5 years now. But literally he got that gig because he was from Milwaukee, like there for Summerfest, and Pink or her team heard him, and like not even playing with them at all at that point yet, but they heard him at Summerfest. I think what happened was they needed a DJ. I don't know. I'll have to ask Cut Up if this is actually how it went down. But from what I remember happening is they needed a DJ. They had heard him. They were like, yo, can you fucking be our DJ for this night at Summerfest? He played that night at Summerfest. They fell in love with him, and he's been on tour with them ever since.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. And just fucking crushing it. So that's the kind of opportunity that's like, once that comes and you take advantage of it, that's 5 years.
He got to go across the world. I think they took him to
like Australia.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that's crazy.
But he does every show with them, and then I mean, I think of even one of my teachers at Belmont was Kelly Clarkson's touring DJ, and then he used to be with Grits, but the guy that's my teacher was Grits DJ and produced and
that's crazy.
Yeah. But then he was on tour with Kelly Clarkson for so long, and same kind of concept where it's like he would just go on tour everywhere with them, play that first. I think
once
like
you get in that circle too, it's like you're like, yep, we know he does a good job. He's good.
Yeah,
like he's golden, you know.
But yeah, anyway, so we're gonna get into a couple different topics today. Obviously hitting on some touring stuff, just kind of getting this show started, and it's a little bit easier when it's people that I know and I'm a little bit better friends with, because conversations just flow so much easier. Like, yeah, I know we always kind of put together a little script up here, but
come on, man, let's make it awkward.
We can get it rolling, man. So we'll talk about a couple things like that tour life, playing with Kane, and then even kind of trying to branch out further while you're on tour, and the same thing, trying to separate yourself from the artist when you do become a touring DJ. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, obviously being in a nightlife centered job with DJing, most DJs that I know drink while they're DJing, and it's kind of just culturally accepted to drink in the nightlife industry, whether you're a bartender, a bottle server, a DJ. And with that, sometimes people go a little bit overboard, make some mistakes. So we'll talk into that and how to kind of guide these newer DJs, give them some advice on what to do, and how to go about things the right way. We'll talk about Nashville's scene and how things like that do happen here. Mm-hmm. And there's not really too much of a consequence for it versus other cities. When that does happen,
so
you kind of make those mistakes and you're out of there. So let's talk about how you go about, or if you do at all, seeking out other gigs while you're on tour. I know you've done a couple different after parties. Obviously, you did the one here at Whiskey Row, which that one's easier for you to lock in because you're a resident.
That one was super easy to lock in.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I'm still kind of feeling things out in that area because there's like, all these different cities. I don't know everyone who to talk to. There's a couple people who have been trying to help me out here or there. And, I'm really appreciative to them. But yeah, it's one of those things. I'm still getting my feet wet. Like I'm still an astronaut, I guess.
Do you get hit up for it? Like DMs, anything like that?
Not really. I did. I had one. When was that? That was a couple months ago. I did have one. They hit me up, but I had to cancel because it lined up with another show, and I had to, the logistics of it to get to. I think it was in like Seattle or something. I had to get to Seattle and then back to New Orleans for a different show. Oh, wow. So I was just like, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to ask too. Is if it's even really possible for you to do after parties like a hip hop artist or a pop artist, or if you're driving out or flying out right after these shows right away and you don't even have time to stay to do an after party.
I can do like guest spots, but not really like, we do like after parties and sometimes Kane will show up, but it hasn't really been like a consistent thing. Yeah. Obviously he wants to be, home with his wife and stuff like that. So I can't like every weekend do like an after party and he's got to show up. Like,
yeah. So well, that's what I was, it's just for yourself.
It's more so for me, like doing, I'll do a guest spot somewhere, but obviously people want Kane to show up. So it's kind of like the draw with it. So it's like, I mean, you either want me to DJ or you want Kane to show up, but
yeah, that was always,
you might not always get both.
That was always the goal. Like when we would be booking people, like booking an Oreo or booking a Bonix, you're wanting like Chance the Rapper to show up or Wiz Khalifa to show up, or any of these other DJs that you book through.
Yeah.
That's the goal, is their artists will show up, because as a venue, that's where you look at, cool, then that's extra money, that's extra promo, whatever you're going to have, you're going to be like, oh, Kane Brown came here. Yeah. But at the same time, I think about it as a DJ and I'm like, for you just to be able to promote yourself and get on when you're more money on tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's something that you start reaching out to other venues
that's something I definitely got to get on. So that's just
like
who to talk to. Yeah. Who do I talk to? That's the thing. Like,
I just also don't like asking for gigs too.
Right.
So, which I feel like I hurt myself doing that, because there's so many guys that I hear about that are just like super persistent. Just like blowing venues up.
Yeah.
And they get booked everywhere. Like they're touring fucking all over the US.
Or the second they find out that one DJ is like doing some of the bookings. Like, I have some stories. I won't say the DJ's names, but Gordo has gotten hit up and annoyed so much from people.
Yeah.
Which I think just the way they do it, like sometimes they don't even say hi to him, which I think is really shitty. Like, you can't even be like, hey dude, how have you been? Haven't talked to you in a while. It's literally like, hey dude, you got this date open? Like, hey, I'm gonna be here this date. Can you make something happen? Like, yeah. So Gordo's gotten like mad and been like, yo, hi, how are you? Yeah. Like,
which is good. That's what he should do. I mean, there's a way to go about it and a way to be professional.
Yeah.
And that's not it.
There's a few guys that like are touring, I wouldn't consider that touring. Like, yeah, they're traveling, but like when you know like an inside thing like that, like, dude, you're kind of just annoying and people are just giving in to you. Like, I mean, I guess that fake it till you make it thing is.
Yeah, the fake it to make it thing, like just trying to be forceful enough where you get your foot in the door, but you're not really like trying to be a person to help like anyone out except for yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's where like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to be that, be that person. I go to a city, hey, I'm here. Get me something. It's like, if you guys want me to play, like I'll play, but I'm not going to, like be mad or strangle you for it or anything like that. Like I feel like,
and I feel like when you ask too, though, you can't even get as much money.
Yeah.
Like if they're requesting you, then you could be like, this is my rate, and they might pay it. But like if you're like, well, we didn't want to book you, but we will, but this is all we're going to pay you. And then it's, I don't know, that's kind of lame too. Like,
yeah, I mean, that goes into like how you're going to pitch yourself too. I mean, if you're getting your tour, all those dates and you're hitting people up months in advance where that they're not booked out yet. Then it's kind of just how you go about providing value to them, whether it's going to be on the chance that the artist comes through or just providing value for yourself as a DJ because that you're fucking dope.
Yeah.
And even you as your DJ, whether you want to brand yourself as Kane Brown's DJ or whoever the artist, that's kind of how you give value to whatever those nightclubs that you are going to hit on those tour spots and do those after parties for. But I get what you're saying where it's like, then that's the hard part too, because it's like you probably just don't want to be the one hitting them up. Like you want them to want you and be the one reaching out to you.
It's also a thing too. You got like, I'm sure whoever books at these clubs, like they're not going to the Kane Brown show to, look at the DJ. So they don't know who, what to expect. So they just, is Kane Brown's DJ. They've never heard me play before. So they're like, I don't know, is it good or not? Like,
which is like, that's where having your content is going to come in.
That's where I got to work on that.
Yeah. We were just talking about that a little bit just before we got on here. But yeah, I mean, that's a part that's huge too, because then if you are the one that's hitting these places up, then they go to look at your page and they're like, oh shit, like he posted this little routine and has fucking 10,000 views on it, 100,000 views on it, whatever it's going to be. Then they're like, shit, we're literally watching a video of him. Like we can see that he's dope.
Yeah. That's
now the ball's rolling a little bit more.
People need to see you do what you do then it can be justified.
Yeah.
I think what would be good for you too is if you could get on like some DJ agency that already has like connects, because then it's like them hitting up the venue like, hey, you already book our DJs. We have Kane Brown's DJ coming into town when Kane Brown's playing Saturday, June, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think of like a Silver. Being with like, is he with like Blackout artists or who's he with?
I think he's an owner too.
Oh, really?
He owns
Okay.
Blackout. Yeah.
But yeah, then.
Yeah.
But now you have that connection because you already do all these venues across the country, and now you're like, then you probably get that rate you want, on the days you want to do it.
That's also a thing with agencies though too. They want content now also.
Yeah.
they want money too. I remember your other podcast that you did
Cutswell and Strategy,
with Cutswell. They were talking about agencies and they take percentage because they do that work for you. You can also do that work for yourself.
Yeah, but I think just in that sense, they have value because they already have the Rolodex. So, like,
gotcha.
It's if you had the Rolodex of all these clubs and relationships, then yeah, you wouldn't need them. But like, you're still starting out in that realm and trying to meet people across the country. So I think it would be a good thing for you until you build that Rolodex.
Yeah.
And then maybe down the line, or maybe you just get your rate raised up and you don't care that you're giving them that percentage.
Yeah.
I think about it like a Jam Factory here, where it's like there's so many gigs that I wouldn't have gotten just because I wouldn't have reached out to these hotels or these random bars that are under their umbrella.
Yeah.
Where that's where that agency would come in to play, and that's kind of something we talked about with Strategy and Cutswell of the pros and the cons versus each one.
Yeah.
Where it's like the con is you're either losing some of the money or not getting the rate that you would have got for yourself. But then the pro is, hey, maybe if you are under that agency and you're on tour, out of those 30 tour dates that you get, they book you for 20 after parties that you wouldn't have gotten. And it's like, even the money that they're taking, dude, if they just got you 20 other gigs, you're making that back way more than what you would have got. So but yeah, it's a for people that think that DJs don't do a lot, there's a lot of fucking thought that goes into this shit, and there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes.
You're not just like a DJ, man. You got to do everything.
You got to do everything.
I wish I could just show up and just DJ. Like I wish I don't even have to go through music. I barely do that. Like, man, what 5 songs do I need to add this week? Like, what are the must-haves? What Sexy Red song do we need this week? Like,
was Jack Harlow's coming out with something else again?
But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's staying on top of trends. It's staying on top of music. It's being a promoter, being a content creator, being an MC at certain spots that want DJs on the mic. There's a lot that goes into it.
Editor, videographer, podcaster. You got to do all of the things.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. So and that's kind of hard because then people nowadays are like, oh well, this DJ is not bringing in as many people as this DJ who might fucking suck. Like
before the EDM boom, dude, the DJ booth was like hidden. Like especially in Chicago, like dude, we didn't like people talking on the mic in Chicago. There were certain clubs that did it, but for the most part, especially in the house music clubs, they don't want you on the mic at all. Like there was no 3, 2, 1, let's go, you know, like So like compared to nowadays, it's like, dude, it's all these kids grew up in the EDM world, and a lot of them are for the content. So it's like, oh, I got to make content. I got to be the guy in the booth raging. Like, dude, I grew up and that didn't exist. Like, the most we saw was like Eric Murillo with his hands up, but like even him barely would get on the mic, you know? So like the EDM boom like changed it. Like people are trying to play clubs like it's a festival, which I think I guess now it's gotten better because people are just so used to it because everybody goes to festivals now. But like in the very beginning of that was like, no, dude, that's weird. Like this is a nightclub. There's a vibe to this. Like it's gotten, you know, to that point now where you can almost be like a festival DJ in a nightclub. But do I get on the mic? Do I not? Like, what are they expecting? Do they want me to jump around? You know,
I still definitely think there's a line to it, which obviously is a topic of discussion all the time, whether you're on DJ Twitter or whatever, where the people that are on the mic or enough or like too much, they're on the mic way too much. And you got to find that line and ride that line to the perfect point. Otherwise people are going to get fucking annoyed.
I mean, my local gigs at Kung Fu, I don't talk at all. I'm on tour. I'm on the mic every other song.
Yeah, well, tour, I think you have to be in the tour sense.
Yes.
But yeah, like in a nightclub setting, I just think it's so weird. Like, dude, I remember, you know, younger Darren would dread birthday shout outs because once you said one birthday shout out, it was like everybody and their mom's birthday.
They're flooded.
Like, hey, it's my birthday. Like, people, you knew it wasn't some people's birthday. They just wanted to hear their name on the mic.
Yeah, the floodgates open as soon as you do that shit.
What about me?
Especially like here, like you give one bachelorette shout out.
That's it.
Oh dude, man. It's a fucking wrap for the next 20 minutes.
I just use the best friend thing now. Like that like blankets everything. Like if you're with your best friend tonight, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, nope, sorry, can't do no more. Or I mean, it'd be in Nashville, you could be like $20. Like, and they'll be like, really? And then either they'll give you $20 and you got to do it, or they won't give you $20. It's like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I've also used the, oh, sorry, I only do mic shout-outs for birthdays if they bought bottles. Like, and that really helps.
Damn, that's actually a smart one.
That's a good one.
Like, nope, sorry, it's the rule of the club. It's not, but I'm not going to sit here and do a roll call.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone with birthdays line up.
Money is always a good way to get your shout out.
Yeah, man.
Or to get your song request. If you you can pay, what do you no money, no bunny?
No money, no bunny. I actually got that from a DJ in New York. My buddy Ron sent it to me, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm going to turn that into a sticker.
I don't know. I thought somebody put it on a shirt.
It might be that guy from New York. I just can't remember the DJ's name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it from there, and I put my own little twist on it.
Yeah.
And I made some stickers for all you guys. But
hell yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's one thing that I need to get done is some merch. Obviously outside of like stickers, but getting some stuff done for myself and then now for the mix show and the podcast, just getting a little bit more popular. I do think that.
Do we get free stuff?
I mean, you guys are guests of the show get merch. But yeah, I think it would do pretty well. I just got to figure out how to.
Are we the first repeat?
You are.
Oh wow.
I didn't really want to do like repeats this early, but I'm like, oh, getting them together as a duo will be fucking nice. And obviously, you guys are both really good friends, so it's fitting.
And we're cooking up some stuff for the future. Intent.
There you go.
Intent.
We got a little something.
We're working on it.
You've been getting more and more into production. I mean, you sent me some stuff. I know you're a big Rufus Du Sol guy.
Oh baby, yeah.
And that's kind of what you've been.
You can see his nipples
gearing
pop up.
Some of the production toward is like that kind of vibe.
Real
and then
progressive.
I feel like you're a little sad boy sometimes too. So
you know it. I mean, I feel like that's the music that touches everybody, though, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's been happy. And everybody's been sad in their life. Yeah, but Rufus, dude, that's a whole different kind of feeling. Bro.
Oh yeah.
That's like you don't even got. You could be like the happiest guy in the world and cry to Rufus.
Which is crazy that they're so popular as a group and like tour and play festivals and stuff like that. But it's like you don't really play their music in clubs too much just because of like the vibe, like the energy that the majority of their songs, unless you're playing like a remix for it. Like I'll play like an Inner Bloom remix. But it's like really the only place I play Inner Bloom is Barstool because their entire fucking staff loves it. Yeah.
Loves it. Yeah.
Like you get Shay, you get Iga, fucking they'll come running up right away. But outside of that, it's like it's so like mellow and kind of down tempo.
Yeah. I've played it like on like some of the rooftops during the summer here.
I think a rooftop vibe is like perfect for it.
Yeah. And then obviously like closing. Like if I'm closing a nightclub, it's like, all right, last 20 minutes is, Rufus and Fred again.
Yeah, you put me on to his Tiny Desk episode, which was fucking wild to see like how good of a producer and artist that he is.
He's a beast, dude. I would love to like just sit in a room and watch him for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like you ain't got to talk to me, bro. Just let me just watch what you're doing. Like, I think that'd be really cool.
How have you been learning most of your production right now? Are you just YouTube University or you have some people helping you out?
YouTube, trying like, when I used to make mixes a lot, I would like just try stuff randomly and like literally just click on effects and click on, different things and just try to make stuff sound different. Like literally not knowing what they did. That's kind of helped, like the whole automation aspect of that.
Yeah.
I'm just still trying to get better because I'm terrible with like plugins, man. They still like confuse me. Like, dude, when you open Serum, there's so many different things you can do.
No, yeah.
You're like, you turn one knob and then the entire sound is like completely different. You're like, I don't even know what knob I just turned, bro. Like,
how the fuck do I undo this?
Like when you watch people like remake on YouTube, they're like, oh, I'm gonna remake, the song from Fisher, and they do every tiny little thing on Serum and they know exactly where to go to make that sound change. I'm like, I don't know how they got that good because there's like 60 different things you can turn. It's like like a Moog or something. Like you turn one little knob, some left to right, and there's 30 of them. Like, oh man, I lost the one I just turned. Like, you know, so
that's what it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that some people are that good, and I mean, hopefully we'll get there one of these days. I think we will. Because the stuff I've played with, I've gotten like good feedback.
Yeah.
And for me not knowing as much, or I don't think I don't know that much, but just playing with it, like I've had like my buddy Nick DeMazzo from New York, like, dude, send me that, I'll help you finish it. It's like stuff like that that's gotten me like hype. Like, like, all right. I mean, I knew it sounded cool to me, so it's cool that it sounds cool to somebody else.
So what's the goal then? Are you wanting to just become like completely proficient at it, that you can bang out a couple songs a month, or is it more just for you to be able to play?
I think I definitely would like to get to that. I don't remember what YouTube video it was. It was, a rabbit hole one day, but the guy was talking about, like, dude, just put out whatever you make. He's like, dude, there's 8 billion people in this world. Like, if you get 2 million of them to like it, like 2 million out of 8 billion is nothing. Like, but there might be 2 million people around the world that are like, dude, I like that guy's stuff. When you think about it that way, I think that's kind of crazy. Like, dude, there's so many artists that are huge in Europe that don't make any money in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what could come out of it, these days. But yeah, I try to devote time to it, but it's not something I'm like pushing myself to do. There's days that I don't touch it at all, and there's days that I get really excited and want to go, and I'll sit there for 10 hours, My mom will come in the room and be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm making a song. She's like, you're making it? I'm like, well, I'm trying to. Like, and she's like, because all she'll hear is it over and over again. So think about her in the living room for 10 hours. Like,
which is probably the same shit that she heard when you were 13, 14, 15, just
redoing the same blends.
Yeah, or just working on the same cut for fucking hours straight. So she's probably like, God damn it, right back to it again.
Full circle, man.
Talking about just being able to do everything as a DJ, going into kind of helping other DJs and just being there as a mentor to newer DJs, to even older DJs that maybe don't do everything that you guys do, from clubs to touring. Like, what's like some of the first things that you give for advice to other DJs?
Me growing up, it was always go out, be seen, meet as many people in the industry that you can, bartenders, security, especially like managers. Here in Nashville, that it works, but not as good as it used to back in Chicago. Because like we've talked about in other podcasts where like they have booking companies, management companies here. And obviously those guys usually aren't out on the weekends. But back home in Chicago, the managers are doing the booking. So if you meet them and you're always around, like that last minute, they need somebody, you're that person that's fresh in their mind, you're going to get that phone call. Yeah. And I think that happens here a little bit. Certain DJs that are always out, that are, the younger guys, they're starting to, this past fall, I feel like there's 2 guys that have been picking up a bunch of like random gigs. I'm like, this guy's playing here, he's playing there. Like, what happens? I think it's just because they're younger and they're always out, I've definitely taken a step back from going out as much, so I don't think I'm, fresh in people's minds like some people. But yeah, man, that's the first advice. Like, dude, just go out, be out, listen to other DJs, meet the people you want to work with. Like, I mean,
yeah, I'll double down on that. Like, go to the place that you want to DJ at. See what the nightlife is about there, learn the ins and outs, learn who's working, learn what the other DJs play. And if you really, really like that place, keep going there, support it. And, eventually, you might get your shot, but you're also learning how the place works.
I think that's one of the biggest things, just showing face at a venue and introducing yourself to bartenders, to managers, to the DJ. Like, go up, if you don't know them, go introduce yourself. Like, DJs most of the time don't really want to talk to people while they're DJing, but if you go up and say hi to them, like,
just hang out by the booth.
They're just gonna say hi. They're not gonna be like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here, weirdo." Unless you are being a weirdo, then they'll tell you to get the fuck out of there. But for the most part, I mean, like, I have, especially here now in Nashville, like, people come up all the time. They're like, "Oh, like, I'm this DJ from this city." I'm like, "Oh, what's up? Like, how you like in Nashville?" Because it's never gonna hurt you to network with anyone. And networking is, I think, one of the biggest parts of DJing. If you get networked with the right people, that shit can get you booked at some new place that you never would have even thought of that you had the opportunity to play at. So it's crazy. But
I agree.
But yeah, being in the nightlife industry too, on top of that, this is probably one of the only jobs in the world where it's accepted to drink on the job. It's almost, to an extent, encouraged to drink while you DJ. I feel like a lot of the times, like, as a DJ, if you're not drinking, people like don't want to come out and see you, or just kind of don't think that you're as much of a fun of a party if you're not DJing. And I've seen a lot of DJs talk about struggling to even DJ when they're sober, like almost feeling like they're a better DJ and they're play a little bit more loose when they've had a couple of drinks. But at the same time, there's a line with that where you can't be getting too fucked up. And that's something that I've seen happen a lot. We've had people that have made mistakes and lost gigs from it. I know plenty of people in Milwaukee that have done it, and Chicago here, just kind of everywhere. So
I think like back home, what's crazy about Chicago is like that was like when I moved to Nashville, that was something I had to like relearn, because like back home, if you screw up, I don't know if it's just because of my relationships with some of the managers in the venues, it was forgiven. Like it was like, we know you screwed up, bro. You know, maybe take a week off, but your job is still going to be here. And in Nashville, it almost seems like there's like no second chances. Like, that's it. Like, you screwed up, that's it. And it's like, you text us, you know, our gigs, and it literally says X amount of money plus X amount bar tab. Like, like I get maybe, you know, as a DJ, we took it too far. Dude, sometimes it's just like customers have bought stuff. Like, so it's like, it's hard to draw that line when you're like, I'm here to be the fun guy. Yeah. You literally pay me to be the fun guy. Every DJ in Nashville is the life of the party. Like, he can make or break sales. So like, it's hard sometimes to be like, oh, you know, you went too far last night. It's like, well, dude, I didn't do it on purpose. Like, you're like holding something against me that, like, come on, dude. Like, so now I'm just done. Like, that's it. Like, the 100 times I did an amazing job, you didn't give me no raise, but like I screwed up this one time, and now it's just like, oh, you're done. See you later. Like, and then you get replaced. It's like, dude, I think that's pretty shitty sometimes. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, both times I've ever like lost a gig was legit. I was legit sober that day. I was like, what the heck? Like, the first time was one of my residencies in Chicago at Barleycorn. Dude, I had that for almost 11 years, every Saturday. And the day I literally got fired, I was like on my way to my next gig, and the manager called me. He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened tonight, but the owner was just, he said he doesn't want you to play here no more. So I'm like in a cab, because Uber, this was before Uber, really. I'm in a cab, and I'm like, what? Are you, like, I'm like dumbfounded. Like, are you serious? I'm telling my buddy Mark, I'm like, Mark, I'm dead sober, like in this cab. Like, I got fired on a day that I'm sober. Like, and he's like, yeah,
I was not expecting this. All right.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, man, I don't know. He just wasn't happy with tonight. And I'm like, I've literally been here for like 6 years. Like,
was the owner actually there?
I guess he was.
Man.
I mean, I got fired like the week before Halloween, and then I saw him again like on Christmas. And I was like, yo, or he came up to me, he's like, dude, I would like you to come back. I'm like, no, the way you fired me, I tried to call you. I'm like, dude, I was your resident for 6 years. Like, I don't think it's the right time for me to come back. And I waited till he called me again right before St. Patrick's Day. You know how big it is in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want your DJs to play like all the sets. And back then I used to handle all the DJ bookings for the bars in Wrigley. And I'm like, I'm not going to do to those DJs what you did to me. Like, you cut me off, and like, you didn't let me finish out the month. Like, after me telling you, like, there was no hard feelings. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that to those DJs because you're not happy with them. I'm like, we should let them play St. Patrick's Day. You know, maybe I'll take one or two, because with the multiple venues, we had multiple DJs playing multiple sets. So I was like, let me get some of our DJs back in here, but we'll still keep some of them so they're not losing out on money. Like, you're not going to get a gig now. It's the biggest drinking day of the year in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to them. And then he was cool with it. And then I took back over the bookings. I was there another like 5 years.
Yeah.
And then he ended up selling the building, and now it's a huge weed dispensary place. But
hell yeah. Probably making way more money.
Yeah. That was like, I think that was one of his conditions. Like, if he sold it, it couldn't be like another bar.
Yeah.
Because his other bar's right next door, and then there's a bar and another bar they own is
it's
right
like
next
a non-compete.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've myself definitely gotten fucked up while DJing before. But same kind of thing where it's like in Milwaukee, it's literally, it's like encouraged. Like you
feel like out of place if you're the sober one in Chicago or Milwaukee. Like,
yeah.
And here it's like almost, I guess it's just because all the bars don't allow their staff to drink like they do back home for us. But it's like, dude, it's
that's what I'm saying. I never
it's
drink.
Part of my pay.
I literally never drink here.
Yeah. I stopped, man. Like I've screwed up a couple times here, but like,
I just have never, like, since I've been here, I've never really drank. I've never gotten like drunk while DJing at all at a gig here since I moved here.
I definitely have.
Well, I'm aware because I probably fucking helped you do it while I've been off and at the gig while you're DJing. But no, that's what I'm saying is like in Milwaukee, it's to a point where it's encouraged, where there's been times where I used to go months without drinking. Like I would always take like a 3-month hiatus from drinking every year. And I'm not kidding. Like during those 3 months, it would hurt how much people are coming out for you. Yeah. Because they are a much smaller market than a Chicago, a Nashville. For you as a DJ there, it really, part of you being a DJ is your ability to promote and bring people in a smaller market like that. So for me, like that's why I was a little bit more of a popular DJ, because people would come out. I was known from bartending and just known from being in the industry, like where I had a good following. But those months that I wasn't drinking, like a lot of times people would come out and they'd come out to drink with you. Like they'd come over, they'd come take a shot, they'd just hang out in the booth and just drink with you. And when you're not boozing,
the second you probably say like, hey, you want a shot? No, I'm good tonight. They're probably like, oh.
They're literally like, they're like, well, I don't want to hang out up here if you're not drinking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to come see you if you're not drinking. Like,
there's still fun, dude. Jokes.
It would almost be like, well, there's no point for me to come and see you if you're not drinking. I'm like, bitch, like, just come fucking hang out. Like, you don't gotta fucking hang out with me the whole time. But that's literally how it was, and it's crazy.
Say Dubuque, Iowa was a small market too, so we'd have it was like 12:30 on the dot. Didn't matter how busy our bar was, but we'd usually be packed. And me and one of the bartenders, we always go to the back, do a shot of JMO, just to like recap. Like, we good? All right, let's go. Yeah, go back out and finish the night off.
You're like, good, the shit show is about to fucking hit. Like, let's get ready. That was like your shot to be like.
We're like, yeah, this is when the animals are coming in. Yeah. There was triple bubble at the bar next to the venue that I worked at. So people would be hammered and then come over and just listen to me.
Wait, DJ. You have triple bubble? I thought it's double bubble and
triple bubble.
Oh, we call it triple cripple.
What is that?
Double bubble.
No idea what y'all are talking about.
Double bubble is like two for one. Triple bubble, 3 for 1.
We call it double bubble and triple cripple.
Yeah, they just
trip like it's 3 for 1. So you drink
buy
so much,
one drink and get 2 or 3.
No, you get 3 drinks for the price of 1.
Yeah.
So it's like a Wisconsin, like Wisconsin small towns. They do in like happy hour. They have like double bubble, which is 2 for 1. So you can get like 2 Jack and Cokes for the price of 1. And then they have triple cripple, which is like 3 for 1. And they call it triple cripple because you're getting 3. You're gonna get so fucked up that like you're fucking crippled.
You're done.
Yeah. Which is fucked up that's what they call it. But I've gotten.
That's the first time I've heard
fucked up on some triple cripple. Yeah. It was
definitely like a smaller city.
It's definitely a small town thing, but yeah, people would get hammered. It was from 7 to 9. They'd go to that bar, get completely sloshed, then come over, and then we'd be packed, slam full. Yeah, bathrooms would get destroyed.
Sounds fun. Let's go.
Yeah, it was crazy crowds. It was fun.
That's something that's different with here too. It's like you don't really have to do. They don't really rely on you as much as a DJ to promote.
Yeah,
because the places are just fucking busy as shit.
Yeah,
everywhere anyway, or. The bars that do bottle service and things like that, they have a VIP manager that they field all the Instagram messages wherever it's going to be, where they're not relying on on me to bring in.
And then he builds those relationships too, so that also helps.
Yeah.
That's why it's so easy for them now to shift through DJs now. You know, down here. So, this guy, we can let him go and get someone else in. We're still going to be busy on a Saturday.
It's almost like they just can kind of throw in whoever because these venues look at it as like, we're going to be busy regardless.
Dude,
instead of looking at it.
That's what's crazy. Is just,
but I still look at it. I'm like, dude, these fucking, if you have a better DJ, you are going to make more money. Like, and sometimes I look at it, I'm like, does it really make a difference here? But then at the same time in my head, I'm like, it fucking does. Like dude, you can go into some of these places and when the DJ is just whack,
it'll be busy, but there's no vibe.
Yeah, no one's
like
moving.
If I walked in, I'm like, yeah, this place is slammed, but the DJ in me is like, half this floor is not moving.
Like, and that's the first thing I look at.
Like that's always like a thing. Like when I'm in the booth, I'm like, yeah, we're packed, but I'm like, those people aren't like, they haven't been excited in like 20 minutes.
Or they haven't fucking got a drink in 30 minutes. Like you never flipped it to have them go get a fucking drink.
But that's also like a thin line because in Nashville, 2 songs, you can lose the entire room.
Yeah.
Like because they know they can go, oh, I don't like this song. Like that whole, aux chord mentality where it's skip. It's like, dude, just give me 2 minutes. Like that's what people don't get to here is like, I think, and then I feel like it can send you down a rabbit hole. You can almost feel discouraged. Like, what did I just do? Well, and now you're trying to dig yourself out of the house. Like, dude, you didn't really do nothing. It's just they went to the roof or they went to the next bar. Or they went to go hear the band downstairs. Like,
yeah, that's something I got to get into on another episode is how streaming and just like accessibility to so much music has hurt clubs and DJing so much.
Yeah, because people are just so like demanding now.
Yeah,
bro, we're not just playing for you. We're playing for the entire room. Like those people might love this song, and you're gonna feed off their energy, and then they're gonna feed off your energy. Like that's how it was back in the day.
Yeah,
it's gonna get to those old, but it's gonna get to those nights where like a good night is a night where you don't have a phone in your face.
Yeah,
like
if you don't have somebody request a song, you're like, you know that you were playing fucking good.
Yeah, tonight was a great night. Everyone was dancing, and I didn't get a phone in my face.
Yeah,
like I'm like, that's a good night.
Hell yeah, that's always a good night.
Yeah, but now it's like there's someone who wants to hear something, and I love the drunk Beckies who like they request the song that you're playing currently.
Oh, the fucking worst, dude.
Can you play Nicki Minaj? Like, are you not listening?
Are you fucking not listening? Like I'm literally playing.
Is the starships in the sky right now?
And they're like, no, I don't want this one. I want a different one. I'm like, what the fuck? Like when they request an artist that you're literally playing,
like
I get so pissed off. I'm like, are you dumb?
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, but yeah, talking about that kind of side of things of being into drinking a little bit too much, losing those gigs. Something here where we all know that it's happened to a couple different people, and they're able to just kind of pick up gigs at other venues. But if you're fucking up that much in Chicago or Milwaukee, you're out. Like you're fucking blackballed from the city. Like,
I mean, I definitely think it depends on the DJ because there's a couple DJs back home that I could be like, that dude screwed up so much and he's moved out of the city and then came back and comes back for special events and still gets booked. Like,
you talking about Jesse Seeley?
Yep. I was like, man, how does this guy how does he keep getting gigs? I mean, he's a good DJ.
It's so fucked up because I've never met him, but I just know all these stories.
Dude, I don't know if it was his breakup, but that dude went crazy for a minute there, man. And I mean, and he's kind of an asshole. Like, sorry, dude. You know you are. You know you are, dude. If you ever see this, he's like, dude, he was nice to me. He gave me a bunch of gigs, but he was still a dick especially when he got drunk. He was even meaner.
But that's how like Milwaukee. I mean, if you're fucking up that much, it's a small enough city that word is gonna spread.
Yeah,
and your ass is not getting booked anymore.
Yeah.
Where here, I feel like people have fucked up, or at least I've heard that that's what is going on. And I try and like stay out of the DJ gossip.
There's so much.
Because I'm just on the page of like, yo, if this shit doesn't affect me, I could give a fuck less.
Dude, I mean, what's crazy too is the gossip for DJs. There's a lot, but like, could you imagine the bands here?
Yeah, I could.
Like,
yeah.
I never hear shit about the bands though,
dude.
So maybe they don't. Maybe it's like not in the band culture.
Man. You got 5 egos.
Yeah,
in every band in the city. It's like, dude, there's got to be some shit that
like
goes
this band
down.
fucking sucks.
Maybe they're just maybe because we're not in the band scene, we don't hear it,
Yeah.
or maybe they're just more. They keep quiet more about it than we do.
There's some juice. I've heard some juice before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's got to be some good ones in there. Because dude, if DJs have egos, come on, you're gonna tell me the lead singer and the lead guitar player don't have egos?
True.
Like, come on, man.
True. Yeah.
We hear about it in superstar bands. It's gotta trickle down to the local bands too. That'd be something. I'd be like, oh, this is pretty good. See, that should be a reality show, man.
Of following like the bands around and
just entertainment in that show. I think it'd do good.
So in that kind of aspect of DJs getting kind of let go from certain venues here and then just kind of being added right away to another venue is for here in a city where it's so agency based for these bookings. Do you think that they're just getting rebooked because of being friends with people in the agencies, or if it's just kind of they still know that this DJ is experienced and maybe, they did fuck up the one time, but they're just giving them like a second chance, third chance, whatever else? Or what do you guys think for that?
I think it definitely, it's a little bit of both. I think, the experience is there, and that's like maybe somebody's homie, so they're definitely getting some special treatment. I'm pretty sure I lost like a gig that I was doing pretty consistently because of a reason like that. Dude got let go from another gig, and somehow my gig got taken, and he was in my gig place now.
Gotcha. So literally, because he lost one, then you lost one because they just moved him into yours.
Yeah. And I get it, like the hierarchy, he's been in Nashville longer, but like that wouldn't have happened back home in Chicago, probably.
Yeah.
Just because it just isn't fair. Like, dude, he screwed up, not me.
Yeah.
Like, and just I would expect that if tables were turned, like I literally would be like, I'm not going to take his gig. Like, I mean, I guess like maybe he didn't. Maybe he had nothing to do with it, and they were just like, oh, we'll pull Darren from this gig and give you that one. Maybe he had absolutely no idea that it happened, but I would feel bad. Like if somebody was like, oh yeah, I used to do that gig. That is literally like an awkward moment for me where I'm just like, oh, my bad, dude. Like, I didn't know. Like it wasn't me. I didn't go and search for this. Like they just put it on my schedule. But yeah, I definitely think it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. From just being from what I've seen, there's a lot of newer DJs that are like working gigs. And I'm like, how'd you get that gig already? Like you're fairly new at DJing and you're playing some pretty like new spots that just opened up. And it's like, there's some guys that are hurting for gigs and they're actually like some pretty decent DJs. Like, how are you getting it versus this guy? Like, it didn't make sense to me.
And that's where I think it goes into the bookers looking at more than just DJing of who's this person bringing in, what's their social media looking like, how are they like marketing and branding themselves.
Yep.
When are you going to get a booker on this podcast?
I tried to. I reached out to Ryan a while ago to get on it. I would love to see like his perspective from starting the company and starting Jam Factory.
I completely agree.
Getting it all together. Had Nesh on it, I would be interested in getting like Matt, the other guy, on it from Affinity, and then had Cisco on it, but we didn't really talk like too much booking because they weren't really doing much at the time. But yeah, I mean, Matt, I would be very intrigued. Even today, like I just got an email from Doghouse where I like barely play at. And I don't even know how I got like added to this email, but saying that Affinity was taking over it. And then obviously you're aware of what happened at Layer Cake. So I would love to have him on to talk about that and just kind of how it fucked over a lot of the DJs that were already there.
I'd be curious to see like what he thinks of it, and
yeah, because I get it from the business side, because I've been on the business side, so like I get it from a booker's perspective of they're getting their fucking nut from it, like they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But also for me, when I was doing booking, like I was always trying to get DJs paid because I still had the DJ mindset, where it was almost hard for me, because it's like, yeah, you want to fucking make more money for the business, which obviously means you want to pay less to the DJs. But at the same time, to get these better DJs, you got to fucking pay up, which I was always okay with doing. Versus here, like that whole situation just fucking pissed me off, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way.
No, I agree. I've talked to a few staff that have left there since then as well, and they're like, dude, it's gone like downhill. Like, I don't know why they got rid of you guys. Like, we were doing good, and obviously like the season has changed a little bit, but I know for a fact that my Saturday nights were becoming strong, man. Like, it got to the point where like I'd walk in, all the staff was like excited to see me. So I know just from that little aspect, it was like if they're excited to see me, they know they're gonna have a good night.
There was always a lot of regulars there too. Like the Fridays that I was there, or even like the Saturdays when you were gone that I had to play there, I would see the same people, and like they would get to know me, and they'd come up and be like, Dex, what's up? Like, dab me up. And yeah, just kind of, I still get it from a business perspective, but just like, I mean, the way that it's handled, like you don't have to lie and be like, oh, they fucking lowered it. I'm like, no, the fuck they didn't.
No, they're just
like, you guys are just getting your cut.
Yeah,
like just tell me that.
Yeah,
just be like, yeah, like we're getting our 20% or whatever. I'd be like, all right, cool.
Even if Layer Cake was like, even if they were like, yeah, we're only gonna pay DJs $500 now, well, you're still getting some kind of money. So like,
I know you're not doing the shit for free.
That budget was still there.
Yeah.
But now they have to pay you that. They have to pay you for your services. So that's why the budget went down.
Correct.
Like, dude, I think we had like a good thing going. Like
I agree. I mean, and that was
they could have easily kept the smaller room and kept all the bands, but like our Fridays and Saturday residencies that we were all swapping.
Yeah.
Between me, you, Rod, Grant.
Yeah.
I think it was fine.
Yeah.
We handled our little group chat together, and if one of us couldn't be there, we knew about it.
Yeah.
Like, they made it more complicated than it needed to be.
I just blame Colton. Like, why'd you move, man?
He had to move. See, he moved for love. He did.
But no, I mean, even talking about moving here, like obviously that was one of the places that I first started at, and like kind of got my foot in the door DJing and was first heard playing there. For you, when you moved here, and then for you coming up on 3 years now, when you guys first moved here to the city, did you find that it was hard to kind of get in with other DJs or to get in with the service industry here? Just how it is and so spread out, I feel like, or not really?
For me, I had a couple friends.
Diesel and
Eric. I mean, obviously Eric being the GM of Whiskey Row, and then Diesel with his old job title, everybody knew who he was. So like they both helped introduce me to a lot of people, but that was just at Whiskey Row. And then I said this in our last podcast, but I feel like it's not like a family here, and like it's almost like every bar is out for themselves and they keep to themselves.
I've noticed more so too, like since I from what we've talked about on their first one, where it's kind of like cliquey between the venues.
Yeah.
But I definitely will say like the venues that are close are so fucking close to each other. Like if you look at like a bar stool, their staff,
they're homies,
dude. They fucking are like this. Like go out with each other all the time. Like I just saw them fuckers like Zach and Caroline and Juliana. All of them are at fucking Olive Garden.
I saw that
the other night, just like partying and like look like they're just having a blast.
Yeah,
and they're super tight with each other. And then I look at like people from Whiskey Row of, you look at
they all hang out and go out together.
But yeah, I mean, even just like moving to the city here, like going out and just meeting everyone and kind of just being able to like kick it and hang out at like the local spots and meet new people would definitely be harder if I wasn't a DJ.
Yeah.
Like for me DJing, I'm able to meet everybody and get to know everybody. But I would think if I was not, I don't know if I would have fucking any friends here.
Yeah, same.
It doesn't feel like, I guess you could go to like Red Door and everybody feels like they're there together, but it's super cliquey. Like I totally feel the same way. I started just recently feeling like more of a member of like the Barstool team. Yeah. Because like now it's like they'll message them on Instagram or they'll request songs or they'll be silly and hold up their phone. So now it seems like, you know, it seems like I'm becoming closer with that staff, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Their staff's fucking awesome. I love it over there. Yeah. Every single person that's there has been awesome. Yeah. And they're all super cool. Friendly. Like
I need to come hang out more.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the type of people that will literally look up at you and be like, yo, you want a shot? Yeah. Like middle of your set. And I'm like, yeah. Where it's like most of these other bars I played at, like that's they don't like come up to you and ask you anything. But yeah, it's dope. But
it definitely reminds me of being like back home, dude. Like I definitely get that feeling. Like even with like the non-drinking thing I'm trying to do right now, it's been like 2 weeks and instantly they were like on top of it, like, you want Diet Coke? I'm like, yeah, can I get Diet Coke?
See, and that's
like, and they didn't like hound me. Like I thought that was really cool. Like, what do you want? I'll get you water. You want water? Like, I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll take some.
Hell yeah. That makes me appreciate a venue so much more where they're even respectful of that kind of thing. Where it's like, if you're not going to drink, they're not going to be like, don't be a pussy, dude. Fucking take a shot.
Or they'll even come up and be like, do you want food? Like, what do you want to eat? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, dude, if I'm in there like a Saturday or Sunday, Bree comes in and she'll just
Bree always hooks it up.
Yeah. She'll be like, you want some food? Are you hungry right now? And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, I'll be like trying not to eat there. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I've eaten fucking 1,000 mozzarella sticks since I started DJing there. And, but then it's like, fuck, dude, you asked me. Now I have to eat. So, but
what's your favorite thing on the brunch menu?
I had their like egg croissant that they had.
That's fire.
Dude, they give like potatoes,
like a pound.
It's so much,
so many.
Like you cannot eat it all, but it's awesome. And they got a spicy chicken wrap that I eat fucking like every night that I'm there, and their mozzarella sticks and their ranch. Their ranch is literally crack. Yeah, there's something in it.
The only thing I wish they had was like hot sauce, man.
Yeah,
you don't have hot sauce.
I've asked for it. I've never gotten it. So, Barstool, if y'all got the hot sauce,
get the hot sauce.
I'm gonna start bringing like my own Cholula bottle, hide it in the DJ booth.
Yeah, throw it in your bag.
It'll stay fresh, right? Yeah, just leave it in the DJ booth, hidden.
Hell yeah, hot sauce is good for fucking ever.
Yeah, man,
good to go. But that's kind of why I was asking, because obviously with Danny just coming here too, I've heard already people being like worried about him and like worried about him taking their gigs and stuff like that. Instead of being
that's what happened when I first moved here too. Like I heard it from like managers and stuff, and I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And then like slowly the DJ started telling me like, who's this guy from Chicago moving here? Like, I was like, dude, I'm not.
Why don't you just come and fucking meet me?
Yeah.
And introduce yourself.
I heard he was moving. He was the first person. I'm like, what are you doing, man? I'm coming to hang out.
Yeah.
What's up?
Mayo.
Which is like, that's what I did with you too. Like I saw you in Milwaukee and I was like, yo, like what? I'm like, I'm gonna be in Nashville. Like, and fucking like, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And obviously me and you have known each other, but it's like, dude, when I come here, like,
she's back.
I'm trying to fucking meet people and make friends. Like, and I feel like the general public here of the DJs are like the opposite, where it's like they're...
Dude, the TC group guys hang out with only themselves. I think I'm one of the few people that, like, I try to talk to all the groups of DJs, but I'm like, these guys hang out with these guys. These guys hang out with these guys. Yeah. And I'm like, back home, it wasn't like that. I mean, a little bit, you know, to an extent, but, like, we at least all went and saw each other and said hi. Like, you never see, like, the TC group guys go out.
I've never seen any of them out except for
Mike Fresh. He'll be out sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Except for Mike, and then at that DJ meetup was like the only time.
Yeah. And even then, a lot of them weren't even there. I was like, why are you guys? Yeah. Why are you not trying to support this? I put this on for all of us. Like,
yeah.
You know, like when one of us loses a job, like maybe one of us can help each other out. You know.
Hey, are you going out for Beat Source and Beatport's thing?
I am.
What it's a 10 year or 20 year?
20-year anniversary. Danny West hooked it up. He's like, dude, come with me to this event. I was like, yeah, I'm down. That's pretty.
Do either of you use Beatport?
Yeah.
I use it a ton.
Yeah, I use Beatport a ton.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I get like all your
house music.
Not even. I get my trap and my bass music from there. Oh. Like I like that underground stuff. So
I've never used Beatport at all except for just scrolling through like charts of things. Oh, really? Is it all like you have to buy
every song?
Yeah, but
and that's why I never did it because I'm like I would spend fucking $100.
Yeah, it's
I like
Apple
that.
Music of dance music.
Yeah, I like it better than like a subscription service.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes like there'll be some months like I won't go through some stuff.
True.
So it's like, why am I paying for it for this month?
Yeah, and then I look at it the opposite way where I'm like, dude, if I was on Beatport, I would go and drop $100 in a day.
At first you would.
Yeah. but then once you're caught up.
Once you get everything.
I feel like Beatport's like one of those where you find those hidden gems that, because like everybody has a Club Killers, HMC, BPM Supreme, Direct Music Service subscription. So it's like almost everybody's getting the same music. You know, I remember I met this girl named Zeta Gray from Australia. And I was like, oh, do you DJ in Australia? She's like, yeah. And we actually had her play with us at Tunnel. And we were talking, I'm like, so what DJ services do you use? I'm like, you know, curious, like, are there any in Australia that maybe nobody in the States knows about? And she's like, no. She's like, I have a secret weapon. I'm like, what? She's like, well, you probably know about it because you're from the States, but it's Club Killers. She's like, nobody in Australia knows about Club Killers.
That's so wild.
I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. She's like, I get all my edits from there. And like, she's like, nobody knows it. So like, I sound so different than everybody else. So
I was like out there just fucking getting
and I was like wondering, like Australia, I'm like, what do they have out there? And I'm like, maybe they got some heat.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's cool. Like I just found a dude from Brazil the other day on Instagram. Dude, all his stuff was like fire. Like I was like, what? And then I clicked on his page. I was watching his reels, and then I went to his actual link of stuff. And you know, you have to do the whole SoundCloud sign up, and that's kind of annoying. But all his tracks,
the download gate,
they were dope, man. I was like, these are all like good tracks. Some of them were actual his own remixes, and some of them were just bootlegs. But they were good. They were fun party stuff. So.
Yeah, that's where like when I'm listening to other DJ mixes and I like hear a song and then I end up trying to find it, and if it's not on one of the other record pools that I'm on, I'll always like check Beatport and it'll be a song like from there, or it's a song that's on like a SoundCloud or from like an edit pack from some other person that's on a SoundCloud. But yeah, there's a lot of fucking ways to get music.
Yeah,
and it's something that you kind of have to do and branch off to the other avenues of like a Beatport or anything like that. Otherwise, it's all just the same shit because everybody's got the same record pools.
And I feel like they've made it easier now. It's like, here's the hot top 20, and that's all everybody does now.
It's so much easier now.
You just go into the curated sets, and you're like, all right, cool. I haven't downloaded shit in 2 weeks. What do I need?
Yeah. I get lucky because Gordo sends me a ton of music. So, and he already went through it too. So like,
it's already all organized.
Oh,
now you know Gordo, how to put it in your Serato because I fucking showed you.
Yeah. So for Gordo, that shit's already fire. So I don't even have to think twice.
Yeah.
There's days I don't even listen to it. I'm like, oh, this is new music from Gordo. I'll just go in that folder and start playing songs. Like, I'm pretty sure that everything in here is going to be really good. Like, there might be one song that I'm like, I don't know about that one, G-Man, you know? But, like, everything else is like, oh, that was great.
You hit him up after, you're like, hey, this one flopped, by the way. Take it out of his crate.
I'm like, these are all dope. And he's like, oh, I didn't listen to that second part. I was scrolling through. Because he'll send crates that are like 500 songs in them. And I'm like,
jeez.
You know? Well, it won't be one crate. It'll be multiple crates. But I'm like, dude, like, I mean, when we lived together, dude, he'd sit on his laptop for 5-6 hours every day just going through music. So
my days tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Thank you, G-Man, for making my life so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys had your whole little group for a while that would just do like a Dropbox or something every week.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Navik will send me a bunch of stuff. Like when he goes on like his house kicks, he'll be like, I found all this stuff. And it'd be like 10 songs and it'd be just fucking gas.
Yeah. Like all 10 of them you're able to play. Yeah.
So stuff like that is like awesome. Or if he does like his own little mashup or bootleg, like, you know, like in our group chat now, I have like Don Paro. Sometimes they'll send us shit. Sometimes they'd be holding out. And then Chris, every now and so often, will send us like a track, or at least tell us about like, get this one, you know. So I'll hurry up and go get it, or at least listen to it. And if I hear it on my phone, I think it sounds good. But yeah, the pop stuff, dude, with the beat source now and a curated playlist on that, I don't care about getting any pop song anymore, because like it's here today, gone tomorrow, you know. So like you just go and open up the curated playlist on Beat Source, and it's like, here's the top 20 pop songs right now. I'm like, I know all of them by ear, but like I don't want to even. I'm not going to keep these. Like they're going to be cool for the next 3-4 months, and that's it.
Yeah, that is true. Like as far as music right now, and they're not like classics coming out,
dude. No. There's so much hip hop that it's literally like 2-3 weeks tops, and you're like, dude, the song packed the dance floor last week, and I didn't get 0 reaction this week.
Yeah.
Like that sucks, dude, because you're in your head, you're like, oh, it's gonna go off great, and then you're like, what just fucking happened?
Like, or vice versa, where the first week you play it and it's nothing, and then all of a sudden,
the first week I played Sexy Red, I got like 0 reaction.
Like, and then it's the fucking hottest song. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember when Thinking With My Dick was like popular again. Dude, it was really popular in Nashville, and then I was like, I just assumed it got popular everywhere. I played it in Chicago and like 0 reaction. I'm like, you guys aren't playing this? And they're like, no, what the hell is this? I'm like, it's huge in Nashville.
This song's a fucking banger.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, people go nuts for this one. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and it's old too. It was like, it got popular off TikTok again.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. Well.
Kevin Gates just out here thinking with his dick sometimes, you know?
There was
like
another
a
one
lot of us do. So
yeah, there was another one in Nashville that was popular. I just can't think of the name off the top of my head. But I was like,
any Young Dolph is always good.
Yeah.
100 shots, anything Dolph will be good forever.
Dolph does good in Chicago.
What is it, Meek Mill too?
Yeah.
For a while, Dreams and Nightmares was going off here.
Dude, I feel like Dreams and Nightmares, that's one of those songs that like was not popular. I liked it when it came out, but I was like, I would never play this in a nightclub because of how it starts.
Yeah.
And then it got like crazy popular like 3 years later. And now it's like, I feel like it's going to be
it's a nightclub classic.
Yeah, it's a classic now.
Yeah.
But I swear it was not like that when it first dropped.
No. It's either a nightclub classic or people hate it in nightclubs because it's been played so much. Yeah. So outside of DJing, you guys have other avenues that you guys like to get into. You're a big gamer.
Yep.
Huge gamer. That's something that you like to get into outside. Yeah. What are you all playing?
And I like competitive shooters, man. I'm still college basketball is still in me, so it's still like I like competition. So Call of Duty, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, just team-based games with point and click heads.
You're a PC guy?
Yeah.
You built your own, right?
Build my own PC. Yep.
Because that's what you went to school for?
Yeah, I
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to help me fix my computer.
Sure. Yeah, I worked at IBM for 10 years. Man.
Congratulations. You just picked up more work.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's definitely a good little release from work and from DJing and just kind of getting out there. And are you streaming it or are you just
I'm just recording stuff right now because, man, streaming is really demanding. Like, you got to get a schedule and then you got to do it consistently, that day, every Wednesday, if I'm going to get any followers or anything like that. So I figure I'm going to try and work on getting just content out in general. So DJ and gaming content. And then hopefully I can get a buzz. And then when I do stream or decide to stream, maybe I'll actually get a couple people in there
because people have already seen it on social media.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah, just trying to get that out there.
Yeah.
Build that portfolio a little bit.
For you, outside of DJing, I mean, you have your little side hustle. Flyers Too Fast, if nobody's ever heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
Darren is a good graphic designer outside of DJing, which is, I think, something that every DJ should pick up at least like the basics of.
I mean, that's how I started. Like, it was, dude, being a broke DJ back home, it was, I can't afford to buy flyers every week. Like, these venues should be doing it, but they don't. And it's like, to further my career, I had to learn it just to have stuff to post. Like, that was my content. Instead of me posting, you know, scratching videos or stuff like that, at least a week I can post a flyer, you know? And yeah, dude, when I first completely self-taught, but I was so nervous at first, like posting them.
Yeah.
Like, even when people would ask me to make them, I'm like, dude, you don't have to pay me. Like, I don't even think this is that good. And I just slowly like learned tricks, man, from it, and got better, got faster. Photoshop added some features that made, you know, life so much easier.
Yeah, AI on Photoshop is fucking wild.
Yeah.
I haven't even updated my Photoshop.
But even outside of that, like there's,
I mean,
so
just the subject select tool. That is like, that's a game changer. That's one of the reasons I hated making flyers at first.
Until
like,
to cut people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Magic Lasso, dog.
Dude, but sometimes it wouldn't look good and it would bother me. So I would literally cut it out like dot by dot by dot.
Really?
Like Photoshop now, you literally just, I could take a picture of you and just click select subject and it'll cut you out perfectly.
I would say like 95% of the time it's like perfect. There's like random times. It's like, I remember I did one for Houndstooth once, and the way the photo looked, his hoodie got cut off, but I didn't even notice it. He's the one that noticed it. But like, so it didn't get like part of his hoodie.
Because it probably matched with the background or something like that. Yeah.
But other than that, I was like, dude, it's like perfect. Like, I'll fix that one little part.
And I used to have to do that magic wand all the time, and then the parts that didn't work, I'd have to zoom in and click every little pixel.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, because then if you can end up, one, obviously making flyers for yourself, you're saving money. But even if that's something you make, 5 flyers for other people.
Yeah.
Charge $50
now
a flyer.
That, O-Rod Yuri, a cool flyer.
There you go.
Damn.
See? Good thing I brought it up.
Sorry, buddy. I got you. If you watch this.
He'll see it next week. So
he calls them cool flyers. I don't know if I started that, but we call them cool flyers.
Cool flyers.
So now every time he posts, I'm like, damn, man, you look really cool in this flyer. And then I'm starting to like do more, like trying to get back into rentals. Back home, me and Gordo have like a mobile entertainment company, Plan Events. Plan Events.
Plan Events?
Yeah.
I thought it was Plan B.
Plan B promo was our promotion side.
Ah, okay. So I wasn't completely off.
Yeah.
I was like, was I just thinking Plan B? Like the fucking.
That's what I thought. That's what I was like,
yeah,
what?
Plan B was back when we were really young. This is actually even before I met Gordo. He started that company, him and his brother. And they used to throw their own events, their own parties. So it was Plan B promo. And then that led into them getting this place called the Radisson. And we actually used to rent gear from Insight, Matt from LAC. We were his first customers, really. And now he's got he does like EDC now.
Yeah.
But when we started with him, he had 4 moving heads, you know?
Like a whole warehouse to store all his shit now.
Yeah. He's even got they just expanded it to the whole other side. He had 2 warehouses before, now he has 3. It's like a whole Amazon building of gear now. Anyways, off subject, but Gordo ended up putting, since I knew how to run DMXing and all that, he ended up buying all the gear for us to do the Radisson events ourselves at some point. And then we, obviously do weddings and stuff, but we have a ton of trussing and speakers and moving heads back home. So I started trying to build up my own little amount of gear here now, so I can start renting out to guys.
That's a big business, because especially, I mean, in a wedding season,
dude,
but the amount that you can charge, corporate events too, and the amount that you can charge for equipment rentals is fucking, you can charge out the ass for that.
And even I feel like my prices are very reasonable, because you have the best touring companies in the world in Nashville.
True.
And they don't need the $10,000 to $50,000 gigs, because they go on tour with Kane Brown, and who knows what he's paying.
These fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Paying so their businesses ran that way. So
yeah.
But I want to come in and swoop in and be like, hey man, I'll do your you know,
So you're out here fucking undercutting
your small corporate event. I'll do your small corporate event if your budget's only, 10, 20 grand.
Yeah.
The ones I've done back home, man, they ended up really well. I've never had a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like I've always liked the side hustles. I mean, it gets stressful at times. They're fun, man. I'm a gear nerd, so when it comes to, getting new gear and playing with it and knowing how to use it, and that's always been like an exciting thing for me.
All right, so we're gonna end with this rapid fire real quick. Either one of you can answer first. First one is gonna be, what bad DJ habit do you guys have? So, like, for instance, mine is I fucking instant double all the time.
Yeah, you do.
To the left deck. Like, that's my super bad DJ habit.
My bad habit is always my headphones. I always like step back or walk away and I forget I have my headphone plugged in. So I always end up either breaking or ripping or popping a headphone off. That happens at least twice a gig.
So you got a bunch of just 1/4-inch adapters just ready for you, or what?
Well, I use the S11, so it already has the slot in there. But I've pulled my mixer like sideways before, like I just always forget. And I'm like, God damn it, like pull it out, walk away.
What's yours, Darren? Besides drinking,
I don't know if it's a habit. I don't know if it's bad or not. I think I do it just to look like I'm being busy, and it's messing with I always turn down the break, stop, start thing. Like, I'll just touch it, even though it's all the way down already. I'll still do it, and I think I started doing that just to make it look like I was like busy up there.
Really?
I'll just
you're a phantom
I do,
button
and
toucher?
I've been trying to stop. Like, I'll catch myself doing it. I'll be like, why am I doing
You
that?
just got to be doing something with your hands.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just to make it look literally, because I don't, back in the day, I would have had to sit there and blend the song by ear, and I would have been busy. But now, like with Serato, it's like, all right, boom, boom, boom.
I honestly feel like that'll be like a common answer though with a lot of people, is just, and not necessarily like that knob in particular, but it's going to be like something where they just basically have to be doing something with their hands, like turning some knob or hitting play or pause after the track or whatever it's going to be. So, more useful skill, being a good producer or being a technically sound DJ when it comes to being able to scratch?
I think that could go both ways. I think in the DJ club world, scratching is more important. Technical skill is more important. Because, like, what are you going to do? Make the beat there on the fucking fly? Like, that has nothing to do with, a club setting.
Could be like that Instagram video I sent you of the dude. He's like, I just fucking made this song in the car.
Yeah.
On the way here.
I'm making it right now for you guys. This is happening live.
I just made this in the green room.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think just, overall skills is going to get you further in the DJ world,
Yeah.
I would disagree with it, but yeah.
I would say if we're looking at like, and see, when you say in the DJ world,
that's why I'm like, like if you say it like that, I'm like,
in the club setting, yes, not that whole DJ world, but yeah.
So I'm like, dude, if you're a good producer, you make a hit, like you're booked wherever.
Yeah,
you're making a hit. I think I'm with the technical skill though.
Yeah,
I think being a technical DJ is a way more difficult thing, just because there's not a lot of people who can do it physically. So I think being a good producer, it definitely has its perks though.
Yeah,
I think now in current times, like if you're a good producer, you're going to be able to go further.
Yeah,
as a DJ.
100%.
But
you have to switch over to that.
But you won't be able to defend your title. From a scratching DJ.
That's true.
But I think it's just like the actual like DJing, weddings, bars, clubs, DJing in general. The production side, you can't even put that in the same category.
Yeah.
DJ, being a producer is 100% going to get you further than any scratching you can do in the world. Like, dude, A-Track. Like, every DJ in the world knew who A-Track was. Nobody knew him outside of that until heads were roll, you know? So, yeah. they're both useful skills, but yeah, I think in the club. DJ,
that's why I like asking this, because I knew
that's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good debate topic for sure. If you guys could collaborate either music production wise or with a DJ set, with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Damn. How about we do dead and alive? What if we have two answers?
Ooh.
You can give me two.
I think right now, just because I'm on a kick, alive would be Fred again.
Okay.
I think
Would it
he's a
be
beast.
just sitting and producing with him?
Yeah.
Collaborating?
Yeah, I would want to sit down, like, pick his brain.
I didn't know if you meant like DJing wise, you were going to collaborate with him DJing.
No.
Yeah. Because I'm like, you could do both. Yeah.
Yeah, make a song, like, sit down and pick his brain.
Okay.
Because, like, he's behind Ed Sheeran. Like,
he's behind a fuckload of people.
Yeah. He makes his own hits, and he makes hits for other people that are so far on the spectrum. That
Yeah.
if he could do this, he could probably do anything he wants.
The range of music that he produces is fucking wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one. Who's your dad?
Dead, Dead is like a toss-up, though. It'd have to be either Prince or Michael Jackson.
That's
Damn.
those are my two. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Is that who you were gonna pick?
Yeah, it'd have to be Prince or Michael Jackson. Those are the two kings, man.
Yeah.
Alive. I'm on a Troy Boy kick, man. I like
Really?
Troy Boy. I love Troy Boy. Everything that he has put out has been like that's my stuff.
All right. That's what you're listening to right now?
Yeah, I love his style and his vibe. It's bassy, it's like hip hoppy, it bounces. Like I want to figure that bounce out for myself.
Okay. Hell yeah.
How about you, dude?
Yeah.
Man, if I were able to collaborate with someone as a DJ, either playing a set or production wise, I think right now it'd be Fisher. I think playing a set with him would be fucking awesome because he's just an absolute animal and seems like he's fucking hilarious. And obviously production wise, the dude has put out fucking hits. And that's just kind of like the style of music that I would like to make too. Artist wise, I would pick Post Malone.
That's a good one.
Because I think for him too, he's able to get into a lot of different genres, from hip hop to more poppy stuff, obviously getting into country, and then a rock side of things too, playing along with people like Ozzy Osbourne, things like that. So
that's a really good one.
Also, that guy fucking parties, and he seems like he's a blast to hang out with too. So
He seems like a normal dude.
yes, like that's one of the reasons I'd want to pick him too. So those would be my two.
What about like local?
Locally, you know who I'd want to DJ with? Young Dalt.
Yeah?
Young Dalton.
Yeah.
Love Dalton.
D-Wake is the homie. He'll come out and support and see me every now and then. But we always just like talk constantly, and he's good shit. And I would like to get together with him.
See,
Or I'd want to do like a back-to-back with Chaos.
Yeah? B2B?
God damn it, I'm going to have to edit that out.
He's like, really, bro?
But no, thank you guys for taking the time to come over, sit down, do a little late night pod session.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, if you guys aren't already, make sure you guys go follow Jevity, follow Darren. I'll put all their info in the links. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, listening on Spotify, these come out every single Wednesday. Sitting down with DJs like you guys, people that are in the nightlife industry, people that are into sports and athletics, and just kind of around music and the nightlife industry. Want to get into a little bit more of like artists, some bands I want to get on here, being that we're in Nashville, people that are in the sides of music production, publishing,
love to watch some of that.
record label stuff. I want to be able to kind of pick their brains.
We need the information.
Yeah, so if you guys have recommendations of people that you want on the show, make sure you guys put that in the comments, tag them in the post, all that kind of stuff. Maybe they'll see it, I'll be able to hit them up and try and get them on the show. But definitely make sure that you guys are following this too. If you're in Nashville, go see them.
Yeah.
Kung Fu, you're all over. Barstool, hopefully back at Whiskey Row pretty soon. Yeah. And then, if you like those DJ mixes, at the Platform Mix on all socials. Those come out every Monday, hour-long DJ mixes. I myself am DJ Dex, at DJ Dex MKE on all socials. And until next time, thank you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Check. Mic check. 1, 2.
Yo, is this thing on or what?